This is the Brave New Coin Crypto Conversation, hosted by Andy Pickering.
Hi everyone, Andy Pickering here. I'm your host and welcome to the Crypto Conversation, a Brave New Coin podcast where we talk to the people building the future in the Bitcoin, blockchain and cryptocurrency space. Hey team, we have a new sponsor here at the Crypto Conversation, BitGet, one of the world's leading copy trading cryptocurrency exchanges. Yes, indeed. What happens if you've got the funds to invest, but you don't have the time to keep track of the market? You still want to make smart money moves. What do you do? Well, copy trading is a popular choice for beginner traders. You can shorten your learning curve by uncovering tips and strategies from more experienced traders. BitGet's copy trading platform has over 80,000 elite traders to choose from and 380,000 followers just like yourself who are already using the BitGet copy trading platform as a potential passive income stream. All it takes is one click. You can subscribe to an elite, profitable strategist, set your limits, automate your orders, and monitor their trades. I've got some links in the show notes below. One link will take you through to the BitGet sign-up page, give you a VIP discount. So learn all about it for yourself thanks to BitGet. And now it is on with the show. My guest today is Jason Gruelle. Jason is the Chief Legal Officer at Syslabs, which looks kind of interesting. We'll learn all about this today. Welcome to the show, Jason.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to have you here, Jason. Let's do what we do at the beginning of the show. It would be great if you could please introduce yourself. Really love to hear a little bit about your personal and professional story, what you've been doing in the lead up to getting involved with the team at Syslabs.
Yeah, absolutely. A securities and corporate lawyer by trade, born and raised in beautiful Vancouver, British Columbia. Pretty much lived here. I lived here most of my life, and then I ventured out to the UK for a number of years, and a little bit across Europe. And about 5-6 years ago, I made my way to Malta, and I was working for a law firm out there. And while I was there, kind of got hit by that crypto bug. We were doing a lot of at that time, Malta was a very, very attractive location for many issuers of crypto assets and service providers as well. So just naturally, the firm started receiving a lot of files in this industry. I didn't know much about it at the time, but I got pretty deep into it pretty quickly, and and it's been part of my practice ever since. I'm back home now in Vancouver, but continue to work on these types of projects. And I was approached by the Syscoin Foundation about I would say about a year and a half ago. About a year and a half ago. And, they were looking to set up this new for-profit commercial venture called Syslabs. And they initially, I was there kind of just providing some initial guidance, some advice, and it kind of molded into me taking a pretty more substantive role there. And here we are. We're in the middle of development. We're hoping to launch our first product in the coming weeks. And it's an exciting time for us.
Awesome. And, it's kind of interesting that you are the Chief Legal Officer because, I'm, I guess, used to talking to founders and CEOs and product guys or developer people. But it's always good to, and I'm sure you're across some of that as well, Jason. But yeah, I guess it would be useful just to understand, just at a high level, a bit more about, what your role encompasses.
Yeah, it's a good question, and it seems to constantly be evolving as well. It initially started off with just, okay, this is what we're looking to do. What's a good jurisdiction for what we're hoping to accomplish? We want to make sure that we stay on side with all regulatory regimes and securities laws and kind of so on and so forth. And it kind of morphed into me coming up with a kind of a compliance product. I thought there was a lot of compliance missing in the industry itself, and so now I've kind of taken the lead on one of the products in the portfolio, and it's called Kamada, and so yeah. So I guess what my role is, outside of just the general legal work that the really not so exciting contract drafting and it's there's a little bit of an investor relations role as well as driving strategy for one particular product.
Yeah, got it. All right, then. I suppose, Jason, at this point, it'd be useful just to start to understand a little bit about what Syslabs is, and yeah, what you guys are building, and what you're trying to achieve, really. So yeah, I mean, I've been looking through the website. It's pretty interesting, but I think you'll do a much better job at trying to explain it than I will. So yeah, please. Yeah, give us an idea of what Syslabs is, and then we can talk about probably some of the individual products as well.
Sure. Yeah. So Syslabs, it kind of stemmed from the Syscoin Foundation. So the layer one blockchain Syscoin. That what they were looking to do is now that they've created this infrastructure that's quite decentralized and has a following all around the world, and a decent level of transaction volume as well. They wanted to really scale up, and one of the ways that they wanted to do that was create a layer two on top of Sys, and that layer two is called Rolux. So it's an EVM rollup platform. It's rooted in Bitcoin's proof of work, and provides the Bitcoin security, but with scalability and affordability on from a transaction perspective. So that's kind of what the idea was floating around. And then what kind of happened was they're like, well, hey, instead of just providing this infrastructure, we have some ideas, and we have a pretty robust team that can actually drive some product creation, product engagement, and drive strategy in kind of the holes that we see are existing in the industry right now. And that comes from a place of social, that comes from a place of NFTs, and the product that I'm really most passionate about, Kamada, which is a compliant capital raising platform and trade and the secondary trading market using crypto assets, but also real world assets as well.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, well, we will get to Kamada. Just briefly on Rolux. It's really interesting. I've seen one or two other projects that are similar, but yeah, this is the first time I've seen Rolux. But yeah, I like the idea of essentially at a really high level. It combines the proof of work security of Bitcoin as the far and away the biggest, most decentralized blockchain to date, but also with Ethereum's smart contract capabilities, right?
That's right. That's exactly right. Plus, also the proof of data availability, and so it is kind of a bit of a mishmash, but kind of taking the best of both worlds, and hopefully providing something that the market can really grasp and scale.
Yeah, absolutely. And so where are we at in terms of the Rolux development? Can you just give us a snapshot of kind of where the chain is at the moment?
Yeah, Rolex. We've launched Rolex. There was a soft launch in during Consensus, and so yeah, so we're moving on now. So we're basically ready to roll with products and kind of fostering innovation and helping various parties get their product to market.
Awesome. I said there were a few other projects that look quite interesting. So. I know the one that you said that you, I guess, are spearheading as, I guess the legal guy is one way to put it, right, Jason? Yeah. Kamada. So, let's dig into Kamada a bit.
Sure. Yeah. So Kamada was, again, having my legal hat on. I saw a lot of stuff in the market where there was a lot of trading going on with various crypto assets, some that were seen as securities, others that weren't. And basically, in most jurisdictions around the world, depending on which category you fell under, if you were a security or not, the rules and regulations were vastly different of how you could raise your initial capital, how your investors could then trade those assets on a secondary market, and basically what the issuer needed to disclose, from whether it's a prospectus or whether it's just ongoing plain and normal disclosure. And what I kind of wanted to do is I wanted to connect the world, investors from all over the world, issuers from all over the world, in a way where we can ensure that all the AML, all the accredited investor checks, all those regulated things that needed to happen from an issuer perspective happen, and you could trust the system that this investor is the person that they are an accredited investor, and then offer a crypto asset to them, regardless of if it's a security or not. So whether it falls in the category of being a security or not, what Kamada is able to do is it's saying, look, we've already done the most strictest and stringent regulatory checks. So it doesn't matter. It takes the onus away from the issuer to determine whether or not their crypto assets a security or not, because everyone that's within their pool of investors is already qualified to invest in that product, regardless of if it's a security or not. So we wanted to create something where it gives investors the opportunity to have self-custody of their assets, B, to compliantly trade their assets, but also invest in these new assets, and C, also have the issuers take responsibility in case something were to go wrong. So we didn't want there to be these, anonymous issuers launching these coins or these tokens. We wanted to make sure that these were genuine companies that had genuine assets that provided a level of disclosure that regulators and investors around the world felt comfortable with, so that they could invest their hard-earned money in these investable assets. That's kind of where Kamada came from, and now we're just in the final phases of developing our prototype, and we will be launching in a couple of jurisdictions in a test environment, and kind of seeing how that's going.
Okay, interesting. And so, what jurisdictions do you expect those to be?
So right now, Sys Labs is we're just finalizing things right now, but Sys Labs is going to be incorporated here in the DIFC in Dubai, and Kamada as well. The jurisdictions for actual trading, again, it's going to be in a very, very closed test net, but it's going to be we've been approached with different projects in Brazil, in Dubai itself, and a couple other countries. But I would probably wager that you'll see something happening in Brazil pretty soon.
And Dubai feels like fast turning into a major crypto hub at the moment, isn't it?
Absolutely. A lot of money is flowing into the region. The government there is incredibly progressive when it comes to crypto assets, and they see the opportunity, so much so that there's free trade zones that are heavily investing in it. There's in the DMCC there is a little area that's kind of carved out just for crypto, and there's already thousands of crypto companies that have set up there, including trading companies. There's a new trade zone called RAK DAO just outside of Dubai, and that's very, very, very focused on crypto and blockchain as well.
Yep. And well, as the legal guy, then, Jason, I'd be good to get your perspective on, for as much as places like Dubai perhaps are open-minded to the promise and potential of, well, Web3 really, but also all aspects of the blockchain industry. It's a more complicated situation in the US. What do you see happening in the US?
Yeah, it's a very interesting and I guess for lawyers an exciting time in the US, because they're getting a lot of work right now. And the reason why I say that is the US, they haven't put forth any any legislation or any guidance for issuers, and that's a scary thought. The regulatory environment right now is kind of, regulation by fines, and regulations by charging other people. So they're trying to create this precedent, but what ends up always happening now in the U.S. is there's the settlement, so no precedent is really being created. And I feel like the U.S. is in a state of flux right now when it comes to regulations of crypto, because I think there's multiple agencies that are fighting for jurisdiction to really control and regulate the industry. And I think also they're confused as to what these regulations should be. Even within the SEC, there isn't a general consensus on a lot of these regulations. There seems to be, whenever there's a regulatory action, whenever there's some sort of enforcement action, there seems to be a dissent by a few people at the SEC, and that kind of shows that there isn't a unified approach right now. They're trying to figure out how they can encompass all of crypto under the existing regulatory landscape, and I just don't think that's possible. I think the technology and the innovation that has come with crypto has really force there to be a new regulatory regime in the U.S., which is from a market standpoint the largest in the world, and they're doing a huge disservice to innovators, to issuers, and to investors, by not being proactive with this. I think it's time for them to take some leadership in the industry and provide some much needed guidance to issuers, so that the U.S. can be an attractive market for people who are looking to innovate and create these amazing products.
Yeah, very well said. Very well said. Thank you for sharing your thoughts there, Jason. One other product that Syslabs is building that kind of caught my eye, I thought sounds really interesting. It's called SuperDApp, Jason. What's the idea with SuperDApp?
Yeah, so SuperDApp is kind of a social platform. So it's think of WhatsApp with an AI component that has a self-custody wallet with some succession planning in it. And I know that kind of sounds a little bit weird, but what Syslabs is it's a joint venture. What SuperDApp is it's a joint venture between Syslabs and Fort Knoxter. And what they've created is a way where if someone's coins actually have a beneficiary attached to it. And I found that really interesting, again, coming from the legal industry, that if someone has a wallet with all their tokens and coins in there, that they have the comfort of knowing that if something were to happen to them, that there is for lack of a better term, a kill switch where their tokens would be transferred then to their beneficiaries that they've stated on the app itself. We also are really proud of putting a very powerful AI bot within the chat feature, so you could have a SuperDApp group with you and your friends, and invite the AI at any point in time to it could be anything from booking a restaurant or booking a vacation, and as long as everyone's wallets are attached, and it would do all the splits for you. It would do all the reservations for you, everything you need. So it's kind of a WhatsApp, but with a powerful AI and some wallet features attached to it as well.
Yeah, very good. Sounds interesting. And listeners, if you want to check out any of these products, just go to syslabs.com. Link in the show notes. There'll be links to all those products from that Syslabs website. But I guess just as we finish off this part of the podcast, then, Jason, I guess I've just done it really, but for people that are interested in learning more about Syslabs, Rolex, all the other products that you guys are building, what should they do? Where should they go?
Yeah, absolutely. So the best thing to do is go to the website. You had mentioned it. Also, hit up all of our social media, and that can be either the Syscoin social media, or the Syslabs one itself. We're pretty active on Twitter, or X, I should call it, and that's just at Syslabs official. And there it's a pretty engaging social media account. And so if any questions that you have, we will have someone answer them. And we do regular AMAs as well with our CEO and with people, members of our security team and product team. So a lot of information there, but that's definitely where they should start.
Awesome. All right. I reckon we go to a very quick break and then we'll come back. We'll have some fun. We'll run Jason through the very famous crypto conversation. Hot take round back in 1 second.
Look, we'd all like to say we're pro traders, but the reality is we're probably not. But with BitGet, you don't have to be. Why? Because BitGet is the world's largest copy trading exchange. Instead of you muddling through it on your own, feel confident. BitGet allows you to automatically copy trade from over 80,000 elite traders with 24/7 support on our secure copy trading platform. Start following expert traders on bitget.com. Check for details in the show notes and join BitGet today.
All right, we are back and I'm with Jason Gruelle. Jason, as we've learnt, is the Chief Legal Officer at Syslabs, building all kinds of interesting products. Jason, I like to finish each podcast with a quick round of rapid fire crypto conversation hot takes. Are you up for it?
I guess we'll see.
We'll see. Don't worry. I'm just going to run some questions at you. No right or wrong way to do it. Just hot take style, rapid fire answers. Question 1 for you, Jason. Where would you say that you sit on the Bitcoin maximalist to multi-chain opportunist spectrum?
Let's go opportunist.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, well, what would you say is your firmest conviction crypto opinion?
It's here to stay.
Yep. All right. Bill Gates famously said we tend to overestimate what we can accomplish in 2 years and underestimate what we can accomplish in 10. So, yeah, I mean, 10 years time is a long time. Anything you like, but I guess, Web3 and the kind of stuff that you guys are building, what does it start to look like in 10 years time?
Wow. That's a great question. I think mass adoption. I think people who never thought that they'd be involved in Web3 will be. I think in 10 years, our education system changes significantly to accommodate for Web3. And I think it touches every aspect of our daily lives.
Yeah, very nice. William Gibson famously said that the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. With that in mind, can you think of an example of the future being here right now, but most people aren't aware of it?
Yeah, I think I think it's starting to catch on now, but I think AI in general. I think a lot of people who have really taken it in stride and really spent some time learning it. I think they know exactly how to deal with it, but I think the vast majority of people haven't really invested the time or energy to learn about how powerful it really is. And I think the future is in AI, and so I think there's a proportion of people who've instead of fighting it, are kind of figuring out how they can make it work for them. But we'll see how happens with that.
Yeah, we'll see indeed. But I think you're exactly right. The best way to approach AI is really to learn how to leverage it to your own advantage at this point. Let's close it out, Jason. Final question. What is your favorite science fiction book, film, or TV show?
Back to the Future.
Nice. I love it. Yeah.
I'm a Canadian at heart, and when one of us makes it, we always support them.
Yeah. Fantastic. All right. Shout out to Michael J. Fox. Yes. Hey, Jason, this has been fun. I have really enjoyed chatting to you today. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Just close it down by shouting out your Twitter profile, X, whatever we're calling it these days, and again, where people can go to learn all about SysLabs.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, Andy, thank you so much. I really appreciate you having me on. Great conversation. My Twitter or X is at Jasjit Grewal. That's JASJITGREWAL. And for SysLabs, it's at SysLabs SYSLABS official. And you can find all the information you need there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jason. All the best, and bye for now.
Thanks, Andy. Cheers.
All right, there you go. There was Jason from SysLabs. Fascinating project, actually. Syslabs.com if you want to learn more about what those chaps are building. All right. Well, thank you for listening to another episode. Please do make sure you're subscribed to the Crypto Conversation in whatever podcast app you are using. But that is it for today. This was the Crypto Conversation for Brave New Coin. See you.